Today, it's July 5th, 2018, so it's time for another monthly update video in which I'll talk about what went on in June and what we've got coming up in July. I always like to begin by highlighting three big things. So the three big things this month, number one, is that by the end of the month, we should have some new courses coming out in the Reason.io Teachable Academy, so stay tuned for that. Big thing number two, in the Sadler's Lectures podcast, we've finished up with doing Plato material, and we're now moving to doing some material on Kierkegaard's work, Fear and Trembling. Big thing number three, towards the end of the month here in Milwaukee, we're going to be having our local MKE Sophia, that's the Society of Philosophers in America, membership meeting, gearing up for the fall, and hopefully having a good time talking with some of the membership about what it is that they would like to do with the organization. So let's talk about the month of June. I didn't get that much accomplished, in part because we had some family matters going on. My kids came and visited for a week, and I really enjoy spending time with them, but that means that I spend time with them and don't do quite so much when it comes to, say, video work or podcast work, although my son is now helping out by doing some editing of podcasts. We also had some injuries in the household. My wife first had partially injured and then finally entirely tore her meniscus in her knee. So that really put her out. And since we have two old dogs, one of which was seeming to be close to passing away, but thankfully is going to be with us for a while longer. They require a lot of attention. So I was managing a lot here in the household in terms of tending to them, tending to her, trying to stay on top of things, and trying to get some work done as well. So events-wise, at the very beginning of the month, I accepted an invitation from the Turtle Island Research Collective and did an online session with them, which I'll put a link to below, called rather ambitiously Introduction to Reading Hegel. And so we did a online hangout with them. I had to cancel the Worlds of Speculative Fiction lecture, again, because of the injury and all the other things that kind of piled up. So we canceled that and put it off until August. I did manage to hold, a few online events. The AMA, we did philosophy pop-ups, of course, oriented towards the issue of the body, understood in a philosophical perspective, and I held my 2 half-hour Hegel Q&A and discussion sessions. I also attended the Marquette, Aristotle, and the Aristotelian Tradition Conference and got to hang out with some old friends and colleagues, and also the Trumbolls who came down from Toronto, some people that I've been involved with for quite a while, mostly in an online manner, but we met up at Stoicon last year, which was very nice, and they're a great couple, so we got to chat a bit and go to the picnic. And then, of course, we had our MKE Stoic Fellowship meeting. At the end of the month, we started doing Epictetus's discourses, and we had a few new people show up. That's always kind of nice to see. I did remain quite busy with tutorial sessions. I actually picked up some new clients, doing consulting work, and doing philosophical counseling. I've also been quite busy developing syllabi for the classes that I'll be teaching in the fall for Marquette University and the Milwaukee Institute of Art and Design. I tried to get some writing done, and I did get some work done in Erexis Dianoetike, but I didn't get any of the guest blogging that I wanted to do accomplished, or much in the Heavy Metal Philosopher or Half-Hour Hegel blog, but I'm hoping to get to that this coming month. Video-wise, I finished up the core concept videos on Heidegger and started releasing some of the videos that I had previously only released to my Patreon supporters on Plato's Republic, Book 10. I did 5 of the half-hour Hegel videos. I usually like to get 6 done a month, but I only managed to get 5 done. And I released a few Q&A videos, and of course there were videos of the online events. I did, however, manage to get, and my son helped me out with some of the editing on a few of these, some podcast episodes in the Sadler's lectures out on Plato, on the Apology, the Credo, and the Euthyphro. So all told, a pretty busy month. I didn't get as much accomplished as I would like, but it's quite understandable given the circumstances. All right, let's talk about the month of July now. So we have a few face-to-face events and some online events coming up. On July 10th at 5 p.m., this is an online event, we'll be having our public half-hour Hegel Q&A session, underwritten, of course, by my half-hour Hegel Patreon supporters. On the 12th, here locally at the Brookfield Public Library, we're going to have, I think this is probably going to be kind of a big draw, we're going to be talking about Robert Howard and the Conan stories that he wrote and some of the history of other people editing those. That's part of the Worlds of Speculative Fiction series, 7 p.m. at the Brookfield Public Library. So if you're here in the area and want to talk about classic swords and sorcery and some of the philosophical themes, show up to that. On the 14th at 12 p.m., noon, Central Time, of course, I'll be having my monthly AMA, that is Ask Me Anything session. So you can pop in and ask whatever questions you like. And if you get them in early enough, I will certainly make an effort to answer them. If you wait until the very end, we usually have so many questions that I can't get to all of them. Then on the 26th, at 6 p.m. here in Milwaukee at the Shorewood Public Library, we'll be having our MKE Stoic Fellowship monthly meeting. Again, going through Epictetus, the second part of Book 1 of the Discourses. And then on the 28th at the Milwaukee Public Library Central Branch, 11:30 a.m., we will be having our MKE Sophia, that's Society of Philosophers in America, chapter membership meeting. So this is for members. Of course, anybody can become a member if you want to. And Sophia is a organization spread throughout the United States that's devoted to doing public philosophy, that is bringing philosophy to bear on public problems and in public ways, in fostering civil discourse. And that's what we're going to be discussing. So a lot of events happening. I will also be doing my philosophy pop-ups. I announce those on Patreon at the beginning of the month, and I'll be handling that later today. Everybody else finds out the day of. One is in YouTube Live, one is in Facebook Live, and this month I'm going to talk about the family as a philosophical construct, as well as all the other things that it is, and I think that could be quite interesting for people. Very busy month ahead in terms of tutorial sessions, more consulting work with 2 different projects, philosophical counseling. I'm also still continuing developing the syllabi. I've got them more or less worked out for my Philosophy of Human Nature course, my Philosophical Foundations course. Now it's time for me to start hammering away at the Business Ethics course that I'm going to be teaching for Marquette in the fall. And I'm revising my syllabus and course structure for the World Views and Values class that I teach for Marist, also in the fall, online. And I'm trying to get more writing done this month. We'll see how that goes, both popular writing and academic writing, and some work on the book projects. Doing a lot of editorial work, of course, for Stoicism Today. And I'm also lining up speaking gigs both for the fall and for the first quarter and second quarter of 2019. So if you're interested in bringing me in as a speaker, I'm already pretty booked up for the fall, but 2019 is at this point pretty wide open. Just write me at greg@reason.io, and we'll talk about the feasibility of whatever it is that you have in mind. Workshops, coming in to give a lecture, facilitating a discussion. I'm game for all of those things, even TED-style talks. Videos. What am I going to be doing this month? Well, of course, the event videos, but I'm also going to get my 6 half-hour Hegel videos done this month. I've got some more Q&A videos to bring out. That is those answers to common questions. I'm hoping to get back into doing the book review videos as well. And I'll probably shoot a few personal videos. Then there'll be core concepts on Plato. I've got one more to release on Republic Book 10, and I got to thinking, there's a lot of other things in the Republic I haven't gotten to yet that I should probably do. And I'm shooting videos on Blaise Pascal's Pensées as well. Podcast stuff. What can you look forward to this month? Some podcast episodes on Kierkegaard's Fear and Trembling. And if I get through all of that, I'm going to then turn to Cicero's Stoic Paradoxes and start releasing some podcast episodes on that. So a lot going on this month of July, a lot going on in June. My children are going to be here starting this Saturday for the entire month of July, so I'm really happy about that. That's going to be, on the one hand, it's going to take time away from some of the work that I do, but on the other hand, they're also a great help to me now that they're older. They can help out with some of the duties and chores and even some of the editing work. And I really enjoy getting to spend time with them and share it with them here in our great city of Milwaukee. So hope that you have a wonderful month of July. And, again, if you're interested in talking to me about speaking, any of the other services that I've mentioned, tutoring, philosophical counseling, consulting, academic coaching, just write me at greg@reasonio.com and we'll talk about it. Otherwise, hopefully I'll see you at some of these online events and perhaps even at some of the face-to-face events.